I have a massive pile of new books to talk about. Ah, can't even see them. Do they just come into frame, I think? I did go book shopping. I think towards the end of last year, I kind of went into a reading slump and I just couldn't read, so I wasn't buying books. I thought, oh, I'm saving so much money. And then I got out of the slump and I bought more. Oh my god, that fills me with pain. So I mainly buy all my books from either Waterstones or The Works. So I'm going to start off with one that I have read already. First up, I got Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I loved Better Than the Movies so much. Like, I read it on my Kindle, and I do really want to buy a physical copy, but I keep thinking, like, oh, I've already read it, there's no point. Also, how cute! She also always comes out with the cutest covers. This probably is up there with one of my favourite books. I was gonna say of all time. I'd say, yeah, definitely in the top 10. I enjoyed it so much, and I think it's just so easy. It was so easy to read. It felt like I was in a rom-com movie, and I think, what more could you want? Oh my god, are we kind of matching? Next, I picked up Belladonna by Adeline Grace. To be fair, I have seen a few people talk about this, but I didn't really know what it was about. I just knew it was like a, would you say it's like a fantasy romance? I saw Heath talking about this, or she was mentioning it once, and I was like, okay, but it's just so pretty. I think one of the characters is Death. I don't know if it's like the Grim Reaper or something along those lines, or if, you know, it's a human. Obviously, I will find out if I read the book. A series that has really been talked about quite a lot, that I feel like it's not a new series, but it's kind of recently come into like the booktube, book talk space, is Red Rising. I first saw Hayley Pham talk about this, and she said it's actually one of the best series that she's ever read. So why would I not want to try that? Proper sci-fi, I think, kind of like, would you say like, would you compare it to like Star Wars? I guess that's proper sci-fi. That's how I picture it, and that's how people have described this. I'm not sure if there's like romance or anything like that. I think it is just purely the sci-fi and the characters and things, but again, I won't know until I read it. What? Next, I picked up my first ever B.E. Schwab book. I didn't know what one to choose from because there's so many in the shop, and there's no internet in my Waterstones. Like, the internet they provide you is just terrible, and there's no service, so I can't like Google or go on my Goodreads and see what one's most highly rated or what one to start with. So I picked up this one because it seems like, I think this is just a single story. It's set in the place Gallant. I think that's like the name of the house, or like the manor or something, and that kind of old-timey setting I really love, so I'm really excited to read this. And again, stunning cover, so much detail. Then another author that I've never tried before and I know is so hyped, and I don't know why I haven't tried it yet, Cassandra Clare. And I picked up, again, didn't know what to go for, but I think it's so helpful when books have like numbers on the spines or like on the covers or something. It's just subtly, so I know what like story it's from, what number. It is just so handy. The covers, not something I would normally pick up. It just seems very fantasy, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like that's kind of a fake fantasy fan thing to say. These pictures on the spines, I don't know if that's focusing or anything, but they are slay. This is part of the Mortal Instruments series, so I don't know how many books are actually in this one. Oh, but it's like floppy as well. You just know it's going to be good. And the writing, big, tick, tick, tick. Oh, yeah, it's set in New York. And then picked up Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I've seen mixed reviews on this. Obviously, Sarah Crowley loved it, really loved it. I've seen quite a few people say loved it. I saw Destiny do like a reading vlog and like a review on it, and she didn't say it was a bad book, so she enjoyed it and she really liked the second book. It just wasn't like as amazing as everyone said, so now I'm really worried to read it. But it sounds very interesting. I think it's like about a plague or something. I don't want to look too much further into it. I'm just going to read it and see what I think. But again, it's more like a dark gothic fantasy and romance. Me sensing a theme here. Okay, how many are we down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 down. 6 to go. The next book I picked up was purely just, I saw it on the side, and I saw that it said like anniversary edition. I was like, okay, that means I have to buy it. Divergent, they've just come out with the new, as I said, 10-year anniversary covers. I don't know if it's gonna like focus. but just like the art style with this is so cool. And you can like flip open the first page and it has this little quote, if you can read that. But it's got exclusive extras at the end. I don't know if it's like interviews or like just extra bits of background information, I think, that go alongside. Never watched Divergent, never read Divergent or any of that kind of universe. I feel like, am I right in saying you're either a Hunger Games girly or Divergent? More of a Hunger Games girly. I definitely grew up reading that, watching those films. I just never went to Divergent. I don't know why, because I feel like they're like YA dystopian. Am I right? Look how big the writing is too. I'm gonna fly through this. I then picked up a couple in the buy one get one half price. So I picked up Light Lark. I don't really know what this is about either. I think it's a duology. I don't know, it kind of gives Caraval, like it's like a game that is like set in this mystical world. I'm not too sure, but to be honest, it was more like the pages and the cover and stuff that drew me in. Then I picked up The Night Hunt. This is another YA fantasy. It's got the characters called, it's about gods, and they're called Atia and Silas. And I remember Silas is in The Vampire Diaries, I'm sure. I cannot remember what he is, who he is, or what. I am rewatching it, so we'll get to that part. I just recognise the name, and I never read anything about gods, so I think it's something that I would like. Mythology and stuff I think could be really fun, so I'd like to try this. And it is YA, so it should be like fairly easy to grasp. Speaking of the Hunger Games, I picked up the new covers, are they? I mean, I definitely didn't love this when I first read The Hunger Games. I picked up the first one because I want to reread them. I read them all when I was younger, and I just think they're just a nice, easy reread. You know the story, and it's YA. You can get through it, and I've just been so excited to come home and read it. And it's just like, I don't know, it's not the same as when you first read it, because obviously I read it before I watched the film, and I pictured things differently. You kind of more creative, you can picture what you actually think, whereas now I know now that I've watched the films, I'm kind of picturing like Jennifer Lawrence and all the different characters, and I'm replaying the scenes of the movie in my head rather than making up my own, which I guess is going to happen. It's a film. That's why I'm kind of excited to go into Divergent blind and not know anything about it. Next I got Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've only read, I actually have read a couple of hers. I've read Seven Husbands. Oh, I've read 3. Never mind. I read 3 of her books and I really enjoyed them. They're very like not what I'd normally go for, obviously, from the rest of the haul, you can probably tell. And they're more like, would you say they're literary fiction? Or like women's fiction maybe? This is her newest release, I'm sure. It came out obviously in hardback a few months ago, so I wanted to wait until it was in paperback, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to read it or not, but it got so many good reviews and I just thought, why not? I'm quite the tennis player myself now. I picked it up in the last like 6 months. That was a joke, by the way, I'm not good. I really enjoy playing it, and I just thought, if I can kind of relate to the character and kind of know what they're talking about, maybe I'll enjoy it more. I'm not saying everyone needs to play tennis to read this book, just ignore me. Then the last 2 books I picked up are part of a duology. I don't know if there's going to be a third one, because I haven't finished the second one yet, so I'm not sure how it's left. But it's Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. Now, Divine Rivals, this was the book that got me back into reading at the beginning of the year. I was just obsessed with it. I took it everywhere with me, and I was just reading it on like my breaks and like in the car. It was so good. Really liked it. Really easy to fly through, as I'm sure you all know, because everyone has pretty much said the same. But then I got to Ruthless Vows. I don't know if it's just because I wasn't in the mood for it, because I went and bought this straight away because I was so excited to read it. And now I got like just over 100 pages in, as you can see from my little bookmark, and I'm just not connecting with it. I just can't. Boring's not maybe a bit much. There's no pacing. Like, it just seems like there's not much going on, and I think a few people have said the same to me. Once you get past like the 40-50% mark, it gets better. And I just thought, like, I've got so many books here that I want to read. I just thought, look, I'm gonna soft DNF it for now and then come back to it when I'm ready. Still obviously need to know like how it ends, so I'm probably going to pick it up again soon in the next couple of months. But yeah, this is the last book in my haul. Look at this. I mean, you can't see, but there's so much. I know I probably say this about every haul and I'm so excited, but I've never been so happy with like this haul. There's so many fantasy books in here and I'm just so excited. I'm also starting Court of Thorns and Roses this week, ideally, because me and my friends were talking about it and it's just spurred me on to start it. I don't know why I haven't started it. I've literally had it on my bookshelves over there for so long, but I'm gonna do it. And I'm thinking about doing a reading vlog with it, so if you want to see that, let me know, stick around, subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for more book hauls, ridiculously large book hauls where I spend too much money. But is there such thing? Is there such thing when you're buying books to spend too much money? I don't think so. I disagree with what everyone says. Thanks for watching. Look at this. I love it. I could sleep in here, just in this mess of books. Love it.